cross in front of the camera, kind of walk behind 2 by. Everybody kind of walk behind 2 by. We live, ain't we? Shabbat Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom to the worldwide family. Peaceful Sabbath, y'all, as we get about our Abba's business. What you got going? Oh. Yeah. Okay, boy. Hold on. We got the compass out.
Leave it alone. Put it there.
He's catacomb.
Yeah.
It ain't working.
It's working.
It's going that way.
It's navigating. Just navigating.
Look, that's the parking lot that way. Yeah. So yeah.
What? Is there something over there? Because over here it wasn't doing that.
Yeah, probably all that equipment.
Over here.
But y'all, we this way. So let's get this prayer on.
Yeah, see, now there's something over there. Because now it's pointing. But over there, it's crazy.
Was that the disco version?
Yeah, that's the disco version.
All right, family. We're going to get this opening prayer. And it is with the Most High's permission. And it's in the name of his only begotten and beloved Son, our Lord and Savior, and he's our Redeemer.
Come on.
But we know him as Jesus the Christ, family.
Yes, sir.
Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading the book of Psalms. In the 4th chapter.
Pull it out.
It reads.
Read.
Hear me when I call, O Yahweh, of my righteousness. Thou hast enlarged me when I was in distress.
Yes.
Have mercy upon me.
Yes, sir.
And hear my prayer. O ye sons of men, how long will ye turn my glory into shame? How long after leasing? Selah.
Selah.
But know that the Most High hath set apart him. Know that the Most High hath set apart him that is God, him that is godly for himself. Yahweh will hear for himself. Yahweh will hear when I call unto him. Stand in awe and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed.
Yes, sir.
And be still. Be still. Selah.
Selah.
Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in the Most High.
Yes, sir.
And put your trust in the Most High.
Yes, sir.
There be many that say, who will show us any good?
Yeah.
Say, who will show us any good?
Yeah.
Master, lift thou up the light of thy countenance upon us. Lift thou up the light of thy countenance upon us. Upon us. Thou hast put gladness in my heart. More, thou hast put gladness in my heart. More than in the time that their corn and their wine increase.
Yes, sir.
I will both that their corn and their wine increase.
Yes, sir.
I will both lay me down in peace and sleep. For thou, Yahweh, only makest me dwell in safety. Hallelujah! Selah!
Yes, sir.
Safety.
Hallelujah! Selah! Yes, sir.
It's all
All praises to the most, y'all. Apologize for the slight. All praises to the most, y'all. Apologize for the slight delay, y'all, but we just had to switch locations, so our signal may bounce around a bit, but y'all know how we do. It is being recorded, so if you bounce around a bit today, y'all just know it's being recorded, and Tuba, I'll get it up ASAP. The full recording, y'all, but we got to get going, y'all. Today's lesson: crushing the head and bruising the heel. The seed of the woman versus the seed of Satan, y'all. And the only reason this is being brought up today is so much information is coming out now about the Nephilim or the fallen angels. Y'all, and the reason it's coming out is because we're in the last days, and as it will be like that for us, y'all. And what that means is ungodly behavior. The turning down of the Most High's law, statutes, and judgment, where wickedness gonna be doubled up, y'all. And that's what we're talking about, y'all. But this is a battle. What this is going on is the seed of Satan versus the seed of the woman. And we're going to get to all of the parts as we're moving through. We're going to deal with every seed of Satan, so to speak. And they're going to be both identified. It's going to show their beginning and their ending. So it's going to show Judgment Day for everything that's wicked as well as everything that's righteous. We're going to show some events of giants getting past the floods and how were they able to get back on earth. But we're going to see what happened to them so we understand clearly they just not roaming around hiding in some cave that the flood wasn't able to get at them. No, everything between Genesis and Revelation, or the heavens and the earth, everything is accounted for. All souls are accounted for, even the offspring of giants. They still have a soul that will be judged, as well as the fallen angels, as well as the watchers. So, y'all, we're going to get right to it. Before we do, just want to send some shouts out, y'all. We need prayers going up for our Jabez. He up there around the Jefferson City area. Jabez's father passed, y'all, so just looking for a little comfort. He hoping to make it on down this way for the Passover, y'all. But fam, y'all pray for Brother Jabez, our Jabez, as well as y'all Ark Floyd, our Ark Floyd that y'all see him around here time and time again. Both his father kind of coded a little bit, so they had him rushed him to the hospital. Right after that, his mom's. So both of them, in the hospital, they stable, just waiting to hear a little bit. Also, our brother Corey Corey and Patrina, his father had to be admitted. I'm not sure where they're at right now. And also Mama Boaz, how she doing, Zeb?
Doing all right.
She done made it back home?
I ain't sure.
Yes, sir.
This morning they didn't say if she was out yet, but she said it's possible she could be going home today.
That was wonderful. Hope so, bro. We pray that she's able to make it on in. And y'all, just prayers going up for all who we haven't mentioned, and to the believers, y'all. Shouts out to all believers in the gospel of Messiah given to him by his Father. So, y'all, we ain't going to belabor it. We're going to get right to it. Who? Oh, yeah. Baby girl Corman and Todd Shepard. How Corman doing?
Getting out solitary confinement in April.
Finally? Okay. Oh, boy. Well, that's wonderful. That's good news. Get to see some human beings like himself. Yeah, so, y'all, we're going to get right to it. Crushing the head and bruising the heel. If you will, can somebody give me the definition of crushing and also bruising? And we're going to see how this war got down, y'all, because it's strictly still a battle with what we are calling the offspring of Satan, or how he manifests and get his seed on this earth, or the spiritual children as well. So there's a both physical and spiritual side to both of what we're talking about. But if somebody will give me the word crushing or crush, and bruise or bruising. You ain't getting nothing, huh? Yeah, you got it?
Crushing, overwhelming disappointment or embarrassment. Crush,
Yeah.
compress or squeeze forcefully.
Uh-huh.
So as to break, damage, or distort in shape.
Yes, sir. Crush the head. Go ahead now, bruise.
bruise.
Yes,
or
sir.
contusion is a mark on the skin caused by blood from broken capillaries.
Uh-huh.
Tiny blood vessels pooling under the skin without breaking.
Yeah.
They result from trauma, such
Yeah.
as bump, causing pain, swelling, and color changes.
Right.
From red/blue to purple, green, or yellow.
So a bruising is mostly mark or something that kind of temporarily handicaps you, so to speak. So what we getting understood today is the crushing of the serpent's head. Best way to kill a snake is to stomp his head out or cut his head off. So, and to bruise the heel means to basically cripple an individual from trying to get to their walk, because the heel is the first part of the foot that hits the floor to give you your balance. So if you bruise the heel, somebody going to be coming out the gate stumbling. So what Satan is doing to us got us stumbling and bumbling, so to speak, because he done bruised our heel. And that's with war, but he can't bruise our soul. So we're talking about getting back to the crushing, y'all. So we're going to get right to it. We ain't going to belabor it. We're going to deal with this in a few fashions. We're going to deal with the seed that's coming from the woman who will produce first Abel all the way through to the Messiah. And then Satan's offspring or seed, spiritual and fleshly, is the 1/3 that fell with Satan, as well as the watchers is his offspring, as well as the giants is his offspring, and the Nephilim, the Rephaim, the children of Anak, Gath, and then the nation that they mixed with while we was warring with them constantly was the Philistines. That was the nation that mated with them on a regular. That was the nation that was controlling Jerusalem and allowing all this wickedness to go on. And it says their descendants go back to Gath. So we have a beginning genealogy for them, and we're going to see the endings where they were wiped out of this earth. Then we're going to see the next giant come on the scene in our time period. Now, all of this going to be based on 2 time periods. When the first watchers came, we were living up to 970 years. Enoch 969. So when you see the size and monstrosity of them, they equal the time period that we had. So as soon as we get off the ark, you start to get Nimrod and a few of the other ones, but now their size is based on a 120-year lifetime. So it's smaller. Then we get to 70 that where now giants don't reach that much past 7 foot, 7'3". Ain't nothing too much going above that. So the height of them are matching the time periods on earth when life was longer, because sin went on longer. So the size was a little bit different because we're dealing with supernatural, What's the matter with y'all? What's the matter with DJ?
Another banana.
Okay.
Told you, ain't nothing wrong with that,
Yes,
baby.
sir.
He good.
So y'all, let's go ahead and get it. And y'all know how we get down. Our one and only high priest, Yeshua, after the order of Melchizedek, he's the high priest. He brings forth the law to every male, female, rich, poor, free, bond, Jew, or Gentile. So y'all, everything in the Bible, we don't have to guess. Has anyone made it past the flood? We know what the Bible said, 8 people. Everything after that presses into the kingdom, y'all. Ain't no new genealogies on the scene. Everything that's on this earth or lived on this earth can be accounted for. You don't have to play a guessing game, y'all, and that's what we ain't going to do. So we're going to start this off in Genesis 3:15.
All right, family. We're going to be reading in the book of Genesis, chapter 3. I'm going to start the reading in verse 15. Everybody there?
I tell you what, back it up to 13. And what we want to do is see the curse of Satan and the woman, because those were the 2 that initially started this crime. So repair of the crime basically has to come through how it started, and Satan gonna keep his going to continue beating up on the recovery process. Who got it?
The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 13. And the Most High Yah said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done?
Uh-huh.
And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
Yeah.
And the Most High Yah said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle,
Yeah.
and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
Uh-huh.
And I will put enmity between thee and the woman,
Uh-huh.
and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
So the enmity is mutual hatred. There's going to be hatred at a high level between these two spiritual seeds that will manifest fleshly. So what we want to do, y'all, is just get the understanding of these offsprings and don't bring nothing in. If you hear the title of anything else or what another entity on this planet is called, unless you can find its beginning, how it came into this earth, you still going to show how it's going to leave, and it must be judgment day. But if you talking about something that lived 1 billion years on this earth and you ain't got no beginning or ending, y'all, you wasting your time with what's called endless genealogy.
Right.
The things we going to go over today going to have a beginning and a prophesied ending. So, y'all, if we will, we're going to keep it moving. We're going right to Genesis.
Bodies, because they were born from men, and their beginning and primal origin is from the Holy Watchers.
What is their primal origin?
From the Holy Watchers.
So that's a beginning, ain't it?
Yeah.
This ain't no endless genealogy.
Right.
So we got the beginning. Their beginning came from the Watchers. Go ahead.
They will be evil spirits on the earth, and they will be called evil spirits. For as for the spirits of heaven, their dwelling will be in heaven.
Uh-huh.
But as for the spirits of the earth, which were born, and the spirits of the giants, afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth.
So y'all see how the seed of Satan, that's the heel. Y'all see how what we just read, they're going to bruise on the earth. That's what it is, to attack the believers. That's their job. That's what they created for, so to speak, by the devil, to get his footprint in the Most High's creation. More his buddies back, and they'll jump on him, and then they'll ride him like a rented mule. So did we finish that?
Yeah, that's it on there.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, let's keep it moving, y'all. Let's go ahead. Huh? Who got a
16.
question? Oh, 16?
Yes.
Go ahead, bro.
1 Enoch, chapter 16. From the days of the slaughter and destruction and death of the giants, from the souls of whose flesh the spirits having gone out, we destroy without incurring judgment. They will therefore destroy until the day of consummation, the great judgment, in which the age will be consummated over the watchers and the godless. Yes, it will be wholly consummated.
Yes, sir.
And now as to the watchers who have sent you to intercede for them, who had previously been in heaven, say to them, you have been in heaven, but all the mysteries had not yet been revealed to you, and you knew worthless ones. And you have made these known to the women in the hardness of your hearts. And through these mysteries, women and men work much evil on earth. Therefore say to them, ye have no peace.
And y'all go on in that, but we see how the spirit of them got across the flood, because the supernatural part still came across. Now you're saying, then how did they get physical again for somebody actually to lay eyes on? Because the third understanding of the giants, it was all metaphoric, allegories. See, when David killed a giant, that's just a giant in your life that you have to kill. The only problem with that, the giant for us in our lives, is the bill collectors. It don't seem like you can put them down. Look like you only could kill them for 30 days. You know what I'm saying? And this giant keep coming back.
Every month.
Every month he keep coming back, this giant. So y'all have to understand, it's not allegory, because once we get into some scriptures, it's going to give actual size, height, measurements to let you know it's not an allegory.
Not only that, he had offspring. I mean, he had
And offspring.
siblings.
Yeah, and look, what we're going to see is there never was an army of them. It was always 4 or 5 of them in existence at one time, because you can't repopulate, I should say, or procreate these individuals, because it's bad flesh mixing together. It's a hit and miss. So when we get into the book of Jasher 62, you're going to see a half beast and half man that Zeppo, Esau's son, killed. So they're still able to possibly get one through, but you're not going to get a whole army of them. Right. No matter what books you read, there's only like 4 or 5 giants. It was just Goliath and just his 3 brothers. It was just 4 of them. But they had everybody so scared, because when you come out, who gonna battle with them? You battling with swords. Right. It ain't like you can stand up with a 9mm or AR-15. Them wasn't around yet. So it was hand-to-hand combat with this giant. Let's get some more of this, y'all. We're gonna roll.
Where we going?
We're going to Numbers, y'all. And what we're going to the book of Josephus, so that we can get another witness, and then we're going to give you every place where it names these giants, so you can know where they descended from.
You gotta read that.
And you're going to see they continue to descend. They're going to continue to descend from an individual. They were the sons of Anak, and it leads genealogy. But if you don't have no genealogy, y'all can't make up nobody that's on earth. Because you're going to struggle. If you're making it up where they begin, you're going to struggle trying to find them how they get on earth and where they at now. You're going to always have that problem. So let's get it, y'all. The book of Josephus, y'all. If y'all got it, if not, listen up. Josephus is online. You can do Josephus, Antiquity of the Jews.
That's where it was, I can't.
Book 1.
Book 1.
Chapter 3. And what he's going to do is just go into detail also on what the giants were doing and how they were looking to, once again, separate them from mankind. But he's going to show the physical side of them, of how tall they were, how monstrosity, is that a word?
No.
Okay. Monstrous size. Yeah.
I was going to say, you can read in Secrets of Enoch too. I think it's chapter 28, where it talk about the angels that fell, how they was called the Gregory.
Gregory as well. That's another name for them, Gregory, but it all comes from Nephilim. These are just the title of their daddy. He's called Gregory, and he's called Nephilim. That's the daddy. That's the daddy of the fallen angel. He's a fallen angel, Gregory and Nephilim. He gives offspring to Anakis, Rephilims, and y'all know the rest of them. And mixing with the Philistines. Go ahead. They'd be like, man, you ain't getting our name right. Go ahead. Where we at?
You say chapter 3?
Chapter 1, verse 3.
Chapter 1.
Book 1,
Book
chapter
1.
3.
Verse 3.
Yeah. Chapter 3.
Book 1, chapter 3.
How I start off, Lice? I know how I start off.
Now this posterity of
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So y'all, now it's going to give the posterity of the giants and how they form. Posterity is bloodline. Who they come from. If you got any other group of people on this earth with don't know what fire was and walking around barefooted and plucking ticks out of their rear end and eating them, they didn't come out of the Bible. They came out of some other doctrine or somewhere else.
But Daniel, they got the bones.
Yeah, they got the bone, but it's not from what they're talking about. Let's get some more.
Okay, book 1, chapter 3 of Antiquities of the Jews.
Yes, sir.
Now this posterity of Seth continued to esteem Yahweh as the Most High of the universe, and to have an entire regard to virtue for 7 generations. But in process of time they were perverted, and forsook the practices of their forefathers, and did neither pay those honors to Yahweh which appointed them, nor had they any concern to do justice towards men. But for what degree of zeal they had formerly shown for virtue, they now show by their actions a double degree A double degree of wickedness.
A what kind of degree?
Wickedness.
A what kind of degree?
Double degree
Yes,
of
sir.
wickedness. Whereby they made Yahweh to be their enemy. For many angels of Yahweh accompanied with women and begat sons that proved unjust and despisers of all that was good, on account of the confidence that they had in their own strength. For the tradition is that these men did what resembled the acts of those whom the Grecians call giants.
What the Grecians call them?
Giants.
Uh-huh.
But Noah was very uneasy at what they did, and being displeased at their conduct, persuaded them to change their dispositions and their acts for the better. But seeing that they did not yield to him, but were slaves to their wicked pleasures, he was afraid they would kill him, together with his son's wife and children, and those that had married. So he departed out of that land.
Uh-huh.
Now Yahweh loved this man for his righteousness, yet he not only condemned those other men for their wickedness, but determined to destroy the whole race of mankind.
What he determined to do? What?
Destroy the whole race of mankind, and to make another race that should be pure from wickedness.
Y'all see that? To make another race pure from wickedness. You're going to make it pure, but you're going to do it from wickedness. How is that possible? That's like these camp teaching that Joseph is the natural father of Messiah, but he was sired through fornication.
Crazy.
So how you going to make that righteous, no matter how you slice it?
Right.
So they're trying the same way. We're going to start a whole new race, pure, but it's going to be against all the teachings of God. That's how we're going to start ours. We're going to start ours, race everything that he hates. We're going to get going with that. And we're going to start a new race of people that don't want to listen to God. Who with me? Well, according to the Ark, book of Jasher, it was over 700,000 that said, we with you. Over 700,000 didn't get on the Ark. Let's get some more.
And to make another race that should be pure from wickedness, and cutting short their lives, and making their years not so many as they formerly lived, but 120 only. He turned the dry land into sea, and thus were all these men destroyed. But Noah alone was saved, for Yahweh suggested to him the following contrivance and way of escape, that he should make an ark of 4 stories high, 300 cubits long, 50 cubits broad, and 30 cubits high. Accordingly, he entered into that ark, and his wife and sons and their wives, and put into not only other provisions to support their wants there, but also sent in with the rest of all sorts of living creatures, the male and his female, for the preservation of their kinds.
For the what?
Preservation of their kinds.
Uh-huh.
And others of them by sevens. Now this ark had firm walls and a roof, and was braced with cross beams, so that it could not be any way drowned or overborne by the violence of the water.
So you can hold that Elijah whenever you get to an ending script, an ending verse.
And thus was Noah and his family preserved.
See, and once the thing is said, and when we read in the scripture, it said the animals was howling, and because it's spinning the ark like this and it's bouncing it up and down, you know, that's how violent the waters is. And if you got some doctrine out here teaching that a giant was hugging on to a mountain just above the flood level, and them violent rains didn't knock him off and sweep him away, y'all want to believe a lie. Because you don't want to study to see what the answer's at. You know, we're looking for a new genealogy because the ear is itching to get into that sex magic. You know. But y'all, it's a lot of ways that the devil come in, and the only way he come in, you have to be open to allowing him to come in.
Right.
And he's going to tell you, this how I can get in. Go get this and do that. Go put this on you and do that. Rub this together,
Right.
and you'll let me in.
Right.
But just going and get some dice, going to get anything. How many people here got Nikes on?
Me.
I see all Nikes over there. What is Nike?
So Greek god.
The Greek sports god, ain't he?
Yeah.
What we doing with these Greek god shoes on, walking around in? Are we styling in them shoes?
No, they their shoes. We don't
Huh?
worship their God. We ain't worshiping their God. Them their shoes.
Okay.
We putting our feet on their god's head.
Okay. I was just wondering. Let's get some more of this, y'all. We're going to Numbers chapter 13, y'all. We're going to run some quick one-liners of how they then show back up in flesh and spirit. But they had to get started again, y'all, and they're using the same practices up in the land of Canaan, in the land of Jerusalem, where supernatural things go on in Jerusalem. It's called the navel of planet Earth. Like you got the navel on your body, that's where your immune system is. That's where your feeding tube was connected. So the land of Israel was called the land of Canaan. The feeding tube went out from there and fed all of the rivers and fed all of the other nations. But it's the navel. But within that navel, they're trying to get to that immune system and turn it wicked. They're already doing a good job with who's trampling over the land right now.
Right.
So it's tainting, Brother David?
What say you, Mo?
So it's tainting,
Tainting?
tainting, it's tainting.
It's tainted.
What? The land?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, right now it's trodden underfoot by the Gentile. And that means all nation is walking under there, over there just stomping on it, and it ain't the original people. So
Right.
the land know it don't have its correct seed there, so it ain't gonna sprout up. It's not gonna produce fruit because the land is barren until the seed get back home to make it flourish. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if we go back now, y'all, we putting some bad seeds in the ground over there.
Yes, sir.
We're going to put high blood pressure seeds over there. Fornication seeds going to be over there. Child molestation seeds will be planting back in the land.
They already got
Yeah,
enough
they
of
got
that.
there.
It's the hub for pedophilia.
You know it.
Numbers 13.
All right, family. We're going to be reading in the book of Numbers, chapter 13, and we're going to read verse 33. 33. And it reads. Everybody there? Here, a couple pages. Numbers chapter 13 and verse 33. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak.
Who were they the sons
The
of?
sons of Anak.
I tell you what, back it up to verse 28. Y'all, and this is Joshua chapter 13. Y'all see a lot of Israelites use this to say this scripture because it leads off with the men or the heads of the tribe and say that's why no matter who you mate with, if it ain't an Israelite man, then you of that other nation. This had nothing to do with the seed of Israel. This was talking about men went to war, not women. So you ain't gonna have the heads of the tribe of women getting ready for war, hand-to-hand combat.
Right.
No, we didn't have it back then. But as you get down, they was getting them ready to go in there and take the land of Canaan where the giants dwell. Don't y'all understand? This is how the Most High wanted us to understand. He got our back. Y'all going where the giants said y'all got to take them. They own y'all land. Now y'all think about that. Now we couldn't get out of that with a short man complex and look, Lord, I'm just under 5 feet. I can't do nothing with these giants. No, you have to think, not like you short or got a Napoleon complex, but turn it around on them. Make them feel how a tall man past 7'3" will be. He's just carnival material. That ain't sexy past 7'3", is it, women? I'm just asking y'all. Is that sexy? 7'4", 7'5".
Walking like he just
Yeah,
stomping and can't
just
get
walking
no
and
balance.
walking like Bigfoot pictures. I'm just saying, look.
Just goofy. Big old goofy.
Yes, sir. There one comedian said he prayed for tall people. Think they something up in the club. He prayed that they keep getting taller. Let's get some more of this. Where we at?
We're in the book of Numbers, chapter 13.
Cut all that dating out.
Start the reading in verse 28.
Yeah.
It reads, Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled, and very great.
Yeah.
And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there.
The children of Anak, which you research them back, go to Philistine and Gath, and back to the Watchers. That's their beginning. They're the children of them, so we know who their father is. Anak didn't come from any of the sons that got off the ark, so to speak. They came from another species, so to speak. Let's get some more.
Verse 29. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea, and by the coast of Jordan.
Yeah.
And Caleb stilled the people before Moses, and said, Let us go up at once, and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it.
Y'all see, Caleb and Joshua, they wasn't scared. They're like, look, they men too, or they part men. They can die like men. Mm-hmm. You may say you guys like Psalm 82 and 6, but say you're going to do what? Die like men. Let's get some more.
Verse 31.
Yeah.
But the men that went up with him said, We be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we.
Y'all see how the doubt is already setting in?
Yeah.
So the army is all these brothers right here, and you talking about women ain't in here, but everybody else right here, everybody read from 13, 1 through 16, a lot of them saying, we ain't going to be able to do it. We ain't going to be able to take them.
Right.
Go get some more.
Verse 32.
Yeah.
And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, The land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof.
See, they still eating up people.
Right.
Yeah.
Still eating up everything. That's what giants do. Yeah. They devour everything because they have an insatiable appetite that can't be filled.
Right.
Go ahead.
And all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature.
What kind of stature?
Of great stature.
Yeah.
And there we saw the giants, the son of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers. And so we were in their sight.
So right there, the army got scared because of that. But Joshua ended up going up and handling this business. We're going to go Deuteronomy chapter 3, verse 1 through 11. Y'all, we're just rolling through. And then we'll get up to the point that where the final battle, when they get cut off out of the land that we live in now. But we'll come back through a portal opening when the bottomless pit is open. And then that final war going to be with the Messiah, still the seed of the woman, like we read in Revelation 12. It's all going back to the same war, y'all. We're just reading about, we always guess who the children of the devil was. You got a spiritual children that follow them like the Pharisees, but you do have physical flesh that mix with the seed of men to get it off. But it's y'all, it's abnormal. It's what do you call it when something has got, like I tell you, they had 6 fingers, an abnormality. Yeah. It's something that tell you something caused its DNA to go awry.
Freaking
and it usually brings giganticism. Yeah. And that's the term for it, giganticism. And that's what it brings. Like Andre the Giant, or different things like this. But when they get so tall or they start to grow again, they have problems surviving. They can't last, y'all. The majority of them last 30 years at max. Like the tallest man in America was over there in Illinois. Mm-hmm. Robert Alton, what's his name? Robert Alton, somebody. Illinois. He was 8 foot what? 8'2" or something.
Something like that. He died when he was like in his 20s.
So because their body can't handle it, it's too much for them. It's like putting a Corvette motor in a Pinto.
Anything that's hybrid don't last long.
Don't last long.
Hybrid animals.
Yeah.
You crossbreed.
They die out.
They don't live long, especially when you mix in 2 breeds that's already short lifespan.
Yeah.
They have all kind of health issues and everything.
Where we at? Deuteronomy?
We're in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 3, and we're going to start the reading in verse 1.
1 through 11.
Yes, sir. Deuteronomy 3:1.
We got any questions out there too, Bob? Okay.
Then we turned and went up the way to Bashan, and Og, the king of Bashan, came out against us,
Yeah.
he and all his people, to battle at Edrei. And the Most High said unto me, fear him not.
Do what?
Fear him not.
Y'all see, once again, they sent out the tallest and the biggest man. So now y'all understand why in 1 Samuel 8, it disturbed Samuel that they was asking for Saul to be king of Israel, because Saul was the tallest Israelite on the at that time. Saul, it says, every man's head, the tallest man's head that was in Israel, reached Saul's shoulder. So when it says you a head above everybody else, that's technically what it's meaning. You know, everybody else just come up to your shoulders.
Right.
It's like Ernie Funk used to do me, and I used to have to try to knock his elbow out the sock. He used to use my shoulder for arm rest, because he was about 6'2". Just put his elbow just like this. He rested. Just make it your elbow off of me. It ain't no arm rest.
Something like that.
Go ahead.
Verse 2 again. And the Most High said unto me, fear him not, for I will deliver him and all his people and his land into thy hand, and thou shalt do unto him as thou didst unto Sihon, king of the Amorites.
So it's been done before.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Which dwelt at Heshbon. So the Most High, our Elohim, delivered into our hands Og also, the king of Bashan, and all his people. And we smote him until none was left to him remaining. And we took all his cities at that time. There was not a city which we took not from them. 80 cities, all the region of Argob, the kingdom of Og in Bashan. All these cities were fenced with high walls, gates and bars, beside unwalled towns a great many. And we utterly destroyed them.
What they do?
We utterly destroyed them, as we did unto Sihon, king of Heshbon, utterly destroying the men, women, and children of every city. But all the cattle and the spoil of the cities we took for a prey to ourselves. And we took at that time out of the hand of the 2 kings of the Amorites the land that was on this side of Jordan, from the river of Arnon unto Mount Hermon, which Hermon the Sidonians call Sirion, and the Amorites call it Shinir. All the cities of the plain, and all Gilead, and all Bashan, unto Salca, and Edrei, cities of the kingdom of Og in Bashan.
Yeah.
For only Og, king of Bashan, remained of the remnant of giants. Behold, his bedstead was a bedstead of iron. Is it not in Rabath of the children of Ammon? 9 cubits was the length thereof.
How tall were they?
9 cubits.
So a cubic is, y'all, from the tip of your elbow to the tip of your finger, usually 18 to 22 inches. So do 9 times 22 is what? Huh? Everybody had the same. Everybody had the same math class I had. Troubleshooting. Yeah, we used to call it the gun. Man, you got the gun. It was troubleshooting math. 459 plus 357. Troubleshooting.
Okay,
The
so
gun.
so what's the answer?
9 times 22. 198 divided by 12. Huh? No. Look, I told y'all what my math was.
What did you say, Sid?
Huh?
16.5, 16 and a half.
No. 18. No, or 18, or just do the high number. And how was it, 9 cubics?
9 cubits
You
times
said,
18.
yeah, 9 cubits. You
Okay,
said,
so 9 times 18, or 22, whichever
198.
one you want to do. It's probably going to come out to 9'6", 9'7", right about 10 feet. Y'all got smartphones like
She got
that?
the calculator right here. She gave you the answer.
Huh? What? They wasn't that tall. It wasn't 13. Huh? If you're doing 18, well, it should be about 9'6".
Now, I keep coming up with 13.5.
13.5. Who y'all got? Og? Who is this?
This is odd.
That may be Og. No, his bed was. That was his bed. Y'all read, didn't it?
His bed.
Oh, y'all reading about his bed. His bed was 13 feet, not him.
That's what it's saying. You say.
No, I thought y'all was saying he was 13 feet.
He said he was 9 feet.
No.
cubits long.
Look. When y'all said, my bad, y'all. I thought y'all were talking about the individual, and it was about the bed.
Right.
But if the bed is 13 feet long, how tall is he? Now, what mean you gonna do with a 13-foot long bed?
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, gotta answer.
Yes, sir. But go ahead.
Yes.
So y'all, that
With
was
a whole
the
bunch of
bed.
room left over.
But letting you know, if his bed is 13 feet, usually you have about a foot, half foot before your head, the hip board of the base of the bed. So that's telling you how tall he was. If that's what is, you talking about a king size bed. So just wanted to hold that with that, y'all. Did we finish that?
It said 9 cubits was the length thereof, and 4 cubits the breadth of it, after the cubit of a man.
After the cubic of a man. Okay,
That's it.
y'all. So we see how long the bed was, and that tells you how tall he was. But as we go on to David, it's going to naturally give you the size of the individual. We're just saying it's not allegory, because it's listing the size of the bed to hold this individual.
Right.
Y'all, these things weren't just made up.
So here's a question for you.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. Because of the fruit that they were eating during that time, and because of what they were doing, wasn't the earth able to support them during that time? And because of the earth was
Well, they was going to devour everything. They was eating birds up. They was eating everything that moved. They were starting to devour it.
Yeah.
So eventually, they were just going to be blood eaters on the earth. That's all was going to be left on the earth was these individuals. And then they would have turned on each other and started eating each other up.
I mean, which they did.
Which they did. What you saying, mister?
Everything was organic.
Yeah, everything was organic by then. Yeah. Organic men. Yeah. Yes, sir. Let's speed this on up, y'all. We ain't got about 45 minutes.
Now, regarding the size of puffy bed,
Oh, yeah, that was a 50-foot bed. So, y'all, but look, if you understand for what you just said, what he had all piled in that bed and what they were doing was the same roots. It was the same magic that takes place, y'all, because all of them are trying to do what Adam and Eve did, is to do it from the mental, because they're pulling on their supernatural to get this done at these parties. That's why the drugs are so heavy. They want them to let loose while under the influence of the supernatural part of your body. Possibly we can get the seed sperm of the devil, offspring. So that's why they keep doing it. Rosemary baby and all these rituals, y'all, they're not doing that just to be doing it. Right. These are writings that they're reading coming from them watchers and the Kabbalah and the Grimoires. All of those books is telling them how to get it done. We may have to try 1,000 times and we may get one conception. But that's all we need. Let's pick it up, y'all. Where we at? Joshua? Let's get in the book of Joshua, y'all. This Joshua after he went on up after they spied it out.
But also remember, in Enoch, it said that the information that they revealed to mankind was tainted information.
Yes, sir.
The Most High said, I didn't give them
Yeah.
righteousness to reveal to mankind. They gave mankind a tainted information from above.
Yeah.
They didn't get, the knowledge of Elohim, and, he brought them a tainted version of what
Yes,
was in
sir.
the heavens.
knockoff.
That's why everything they produce is wicked. It's not righteousness in giving glory to Elohim. It's perverted.
So does it still support the concept, as the scripture said, as it is in heaven, so it is on earth?
That's
Say
his
again.
will.
Yeah. But what we're talking about is pure righteousness, nothing sinning. That's when it's going to be like, everything's going to be like heaven at the second coming, when it changes back. So So y'all, let's just keep it moving while we got good time. Y'all won't want to break the flow. Too bad. You get any questions out there?
No, sir.
Joshua chapter 11, verse 21 through 23. Y'all, all we doing is still identifying them on this side of the earth, and then we're going to get to war with them, and then this thing going to get broken down, and we're going to get up into AI, the next giant of mixed seed to come upon this earth. They're going to get it in you one way or the other. And y'all, when they've been trying, y'all know, while we get into that Joshua, what was that called? An incubator that they could put the seeds in and it'll grow the baby?
Yeah.
You come back and actually look in a machine and watch it growing your baby inside. Well, that technology going to be supersized, so to speak, and put into a robot. So when they jack the seed into the robot, it's going to actually grow inside there. It's not like that thing having a baby. They just put the incubator inside the robot. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
They've been conditioning us to see this in all those sci-fi movies. You see those incubators with people in them, humans in them, or robots, or whatever specimen
in
they
the
have
fluid.
in the fluid.
Yeah.
And then they're injecting whatever into the IVs that go into the incubator and everything. They've been conditioning us for years on that.
So when the AI come out and belly starts to grow, which is all by design, and then when they force it, the water break, it's going to actually look like it's actually having a baby. And they saying, we finally conquered it. We finally got our seed on earth, and it can have a child. And we're calling it mankind. Look, it's got to look like us. It ain't going to look like no monster.
Thank you.
They want to look like regular mankind that you won't know the difference.
I'm reading this article online, Daniel. It says China develops first ever.
Read that, say it a little bit louder.
It says China develops first ever pregnancy robot.
Y'all, say that again, bro, louder though.
China develops first ever pregnancy robot.
A pregnancy robot. Y'all understand where we're going with this now? Go ahead, what else it say?
It said, could it replace human surrogates?
Could it replace a human surrogate? We didn't had surrogates the whole time. Hagar was a surrogate for Sarah. The sisters, Leah and Rachel, handmaids, were surrogates. That they say, you'll have the baby for me.
Right.
It was what the scripture called, she would sit her handmaid on her knees while her water broke. And she would hold her while they're getting the baby out of it. So it was like Sarah was having the baby, even though she was just holding Hagar on her lap. So now we done moved to this level of technology that where AI is finna be the surrogate.
Right.
You will see an AI robot pregnant and you won't know the difference. And if a man was with it, this is what I'm talking about. They're going to have a design where he could put his seed in there and it grows like it's a whole nother race of people on earth, y'all. Yo, this wickedness going to a whole new level. Let's get some more.
More than nasty.
Joshua chapter 11, verse 21.
Joshua chapter 11, verse 21.
What it say?
And at that time came Joshua and cut off Anakims from the mountains from Hebron, from Debir, from Anab, and from all mountains of Judah, and from all mountains of Israel. Joshua destroyed them utterly with their cities. There was none
read that again.
There was none of the Anakims left in the land of the children of Israel. Only in Gaza.
Where were they only left in?
In Gaza. In Gath.
In Gath, Philistine area. Go ahead.
In Ashdod, there remained.
So we see Joshua didn't kill them all. He only took away all the ones that was up by Hebron, but they were still left in Gaza and Gath. There was still a portion of them left. See, because they were only 4 or 5 of them, y'all, it wasn't like it was no whole army. It wasn't like it was troops of them. It was only a few of them, but they were so tall and so big. And like I say, when they swore it was big as a weaver's beam. Y'all ever see a beaver? His tail, how wide it said was bigger than that. the base of his sword. So, you know, when you try to lift Goliath's sword about the size of this table. Let's get some more.
Verse 4. I flipped too many pages.
Verse 23.
Yeah. Yeah, I must be over there doing some talking or something.
Gotta separate that.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
flipped too many pages, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zeb, you got us busted.
Well, if you must know, my mama just texted me and said she getting discharged.
Oh, hallelujah, bro. Yes, sir. Well, good you didn't have your finger on the ball. Yes, sir. Well, say that, bro. Yes, sir. Let us get in on that clap. Don't save it all for yourself.
We just be sharing it with
With
your friends.
Yeah.
Forgiven for the good news, bro.
I had to let it out to say, but we was drowning.
Thank you.
Verse 23.
Yeah.
So Joshua took the whole land according to all the Lord said unto Moses, and Joshua gave it for an inheritance unto Israel, according to their divisions by their tribes, and the land rested from war.
So now, you're still hanging around, y'all. So that's where now it's passed on to get rid of this seed. David comes into play. And see, David was the seed that it was talking about because he was going to be on the flesh side of getting rid of Gregorian, and the Messiah would get rid of the spiritual side. Y'all understand? Y'all understand? So both coming from the seed of the woman to handle this problem, both fleshly and spiritual. So let's get it, y'all. Where we going next? We're going to Joshua chapter 4, verse 8. Be careful out there, Sister Karen. Be careful out there. Yeah. Watch out, the devil wait.
Always waiting.
Yes, sir. But if you get a chance, look, when you get a chance, I want you to get into this book, Apocrypha, go to Judith, the 10th chapter, and it will explain some things we were discussing. Okay? Okay. Yeah, no problem. The book of Judith, 10th chapter. We're going to hit a little bit of that before we get out of here if we got the time, but it's going to explain, you know, how one to dress. Because a husband have to safely trust in her. So if you let her out of the house with a dress so short that if she bend over to pick up something, you can see her kidneys. That's not, her husband ain't going to be safely trusting in that when she going out the house. So she have to put on something that he safely trusts, and she safely trusts because I'm the glory of the man. You can't have your glory out like that, y'all, and this is all we saying. If your glory fix our hair to attract other men, that's the problem with what Paul is talking about. It ain't talking about women can't fix their hair. You can't have your hair pull off a headscarf and it look like you've been asleep behind a liquor store. It's full of blanket linen, broken shards of glass, and it's matted up, boy. Like, y'all ever seen a dog that ain't been to the groomer? I'm talking about them little purse dogs that get matted up.
Yeah.
That's what it be. We ain't never been that type of people. But we can't dress ourselves up to draw supernatural in.
Right. Good break, man.
Yeah, Joshua chapter 4, verse 8. Where we at? Noah's birth. Okay, what I want you to do, we're going to read 8 down a little bit.
You say 8 down?
Let's start about verse 9. Yo, so it's going to tell us what they were doing with them animals too. And what Elijah was speaking of the mixing of kinds, y'all. Do y'all know they had a bestiality farm in Ohio? Mm-hmm. They had stalls for whatever you like. It was undercover.
Yeah.
But they busted the ring.
Yeah, they busted it open.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you could
For
go, man. and-
$400, you can have your way
And
with
they
Dolly, not pardon,
Right.
but
Dolly the sheep.
yes, sir.
They,
As many times as you want them.
And they was making bank.
Making bank.
They were banking.
Yeah,
They
till
say it was
somebody,
people coming from all over the world.
To somebody what?
till somebody slept with a pig and it squealed on it.
Oh, boy. Boy, that almost made me dizzy, boy.
I thought it was. I thought busting it open under the sheets.
Yeah.
All that.
That was a good one, boy. Let's get this, y'all. I can't take no more. So y'all pick this up in Joshua chapter 4. Let's pick it up, y'all.
That's at 9, man.
Let's pick it up at 16. We're just going to read it down to 21. Joshua chapter 4, verse 16, y'all. We're going to get past the basics and we're going to get right to where the problem at.
Book of Joshua, chapter 4, verse 16.
That was good, boy.
And all the sons of men departed from the way of the Lord in those days as they multiplied on the face of the earth with sons and daughters. And they taught one another their evil practices. And they continued sinning against the Most High.
Y'all, because it's of one language, y'all. So do y'all know how it makes the sinning go to another level when everybody that speaks the same language is in on the sin? Mm-hmm. See, the Tower of Babel broke it up a little bit to where you have to try to figure out what another person is saying, but it's still been figured out to get into wickedness. But can you imagine everybody speaking the same language? So when the wickedness went out, it was communicated with the same language to everybody. Let's get some more.
And every man made a god for himself.
What'd he do?
Made a god for himself.
Yeah.
And they robbed and plundered every man, his neighbor as well as his relative. And they corrupted the earth. And the earth was filled with violence. And their judges and rulers went to the daughters of men and took their wives by force from their husbands, according to their choice.
According to their what?
To their choice.
Uh-huh.
And the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth, and the beasts of the field, and the birds of the air, and taught the mixture of animals of one species with another, in order with them to provoke the Lord. And Yahweh saw the whole earth, and it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted its ways on earth, all men and all animals.
So everything was corrupted as flesh. So y'all understand how far this is going now? And it says they did that purposely to hurt the Most High. Like we be wondering, who can do that to a child? Right. If y'all understand who they serve and see, y'all, we got this fair weather service for our God. Mm-hmm. But these Satanists go all out.
They go all out. They dedicated.
They dedicated about what they doing and what they mean. When they say slice off the skin of that baby and chew on it, like it's Laffy Taffy.
And they do.
Y'all, ain't nobody gonna do that around here. We got half the time of trying to get up and see if I'm gonna get down here or I'm gonna watch it live. In here. Bring me some coffee, please.
Remember that video that Jake showed, but I had seen this video years prior, but of them white men sitting at their table with them black models talking about we want your placenta.
Yeah.
How much would you take? We want in on it. Y'all have the best.
Yeah.
Of the best, and we want some of it.
Yeah.
I mean, they were dead serious. They're like, shit, we want to buy in on that.
Yes, sir.
We want your placenta. We want all that. We'll pay X amount for the spine, the spinal cord, and
you know what it is? It's all of like when the Most High is forming you in the belly, and then all of that other product that falls off as it's growing, put all in that placenta and stuff. Right. And they say if we get that, we'll become immortal or supernatural.
And notice they only wanted it from the sisters.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not no white girls, because see, white women are a recessive gene. So they don't carry the placenta
bloodline.
They don't carry that. So they want what they want to get in. They want to do with blood of the chosen.
That's it.
So that he can corrupt seed.
Which sense is? The Eve gene, mitochondrion, it's kind of more than that. Yeah, but that gene moved to a specific tribe,
right?
To the blessing of Abraham, to your sons and your daughters. So we have to understand, even if a Gentile man like Timothy's father is still, that placenta of his mother still gonna be the same.
Right.
So it don't matter which one of our male or female get with another, is still the placenta gonna have that bloodline in it, and that's what they want.
That's what they got to corrupt.
That's what they got to corrupt, y'all. They have to get it, and then that'll take them when they start mixing all that blood of that supernatural. Because if y'all remember the movie Lucy, y'all remember that when they was shooting that building blocks into her
And making her use 100% of her brain.
That's like DJ is growing. Those building blocks are growing. They'll look at him and say, if we can just get his building blocks,
Right.
Then that'll give us life back. Let's get some more. Let's finish this off, y'all. We ain't got but 20 minutes.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
And the Lord said, I will blot out man that I created from the face of the earth. Yes, from man to the birds of the air, together with the cattle and beasts that are in the field. For I regret that I made them. And all men who walked in the ways of the Lord died in those days before the Lord brought the evil on man which he had declared.
So a lot of people, the Most High, they want them to see the destruction coming. Because he had the set number he was going to use, so a lot of individuals took the dirt nap. They just died in their sleep. And so they wouldn't see the flood. So a lot of men will put to sleep, just like it's going to be coming up on this second martyrdom. Because he ain't going to put on you more than you can bear. So a lot of people will be put to sleep during this second run of when the Antichrist show up, so that they don't have to face those said pearls and then fall off. You understand what I'm saying? Get panicky and just fall off. He like, no, I ain't gonna do that to you. I just have you lose it in your sleep. You just take the dirt nap in your sleep, and everybody be saying, well, he died in his sleep from what? Natural causes. We can't pinpoint what caused his death, so they just say it's natural. Let's get some more.
Verse 20.
Yeah.
And all the men who walked in the ways of the Lord died in those days before the Lord brought the evil on man which he had declared. For this was from the Most High, that they should not see the evil which the Most High spoke of concerning the sons of men. And Noah found grace in the sight of the Most High. And the Lord chose him and his children to raise up seed from them on the face of the whole earth.
On the face of the what?
Whole earth.
Yes, sir. So, we see once again that just went into a little bit more detail on what was taking place. Not only were they doing this, bestiality was at a high level. That's why we have the curse of the law. Because it had to account for all of the wickedness that was going. So you start to get what the commandments are the commandments. The commandment, this is what God required. When it said of the law, that means men and women got so wicked that a law was pronounced, it was a curse, like a curse word. Like bastard is a curse word. You have to understand what it means. There's a curse that be pronounced on an individual, and that curse runs its time limit. Like there's a curse that we use called MF that say, curse be the man that lieth with his father's wife. So when you found that out, you would point and you would say, mother for unlawful carnal knowledge. Curse that mother for unlawful carnal knowledge. But now, because wickedness done turned the table on us, we use it as a statement of endearment. Exaltation or endearment. Man, you know you my MF, man. And we don't understand what's coming out of our mouth with cursing both individuals.
That's why you say blessing and cursing
come out of the mouth because we're approving it.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
That's why we have to study to show ourselves approved.
Yeah, and understand what curse words are. Everywhere there is curse of the law, it said, curse be the man, and a curse comes with punishments. Reuben lost the birthright. Ham lost what he lost. So we see reduction from that behavior, that's the curse. And it runs a certain amount of generations before the curse is lifted. Let's get some more.
Going to that 1 Samuel.
We're going to 1 Samuel, y'all. We're going to run these, y'all. We're going to close out. Now, y'all, as we see, those first one were put down by the Most High in the flood, but the flesh went across. And then we warred with them up until the prophecy, like it said, the seed of the woman gonna bear the man that's gonna get with him. So everybody understands that to be King David, only for the flesh portion. The spiritual side of that, David couldn't have dealt with a spiritual Goliath, so to speak. That was left for the Messiah. Same process that they was going to do, the battle for Jerusalem, to clear them out, and then the kingdom set up. Because they going to get run out, the Antichrist, which going to be get AI, going to get his head busted where? In Jerusalem, sitting on the throne. Let's get some more. Yeah, watch them fingers, man. Don't let them hit that live stream. Watch him that. Let's get some more.
What, 1 Samuel what?
We're going to 1 Samuel 17:41. Y'all, we ain't got long. Y'all, we ain't got but a couple, y'all. We're going to close out a little bit early because we got to run our stuff back upstairs.
1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 41.
Is there so? Yeah, my second Samuel. I guess that won't work well.
No.
A few verses missing I had. Go ahead, Elisha. How we looking, y'all? We there?
You ain't.
2 back.
Yes, sir.
We good over there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's get it.
And the Philistines
And who?
and the Philistine came on and drew near unto David. And the man that bare the shield went before him.
So, y'all see, once again, it's the Philistines, y'all. Y'all, it's the Philistines that mix with these demons that's practicing that behavior. Y'all, and all they trying to do is get that gene in them and get that gene pool in us. That's why we weren't supposed to marry a certain group, the Canaanites. But if you know Esau, when Jacob got the blessing, he got mad. He said, well, I'm going to get that blood mixed up in here. I'm going to get it. I don't care. You took everything from me anyway.
Right.
Let's get some more.
42. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him.
What'd he do?
Disdained him.
Uh-huh.
For he was but a youth and ruddy and of a fair conscience.
Uh-huh.
And the Philistine said unto David, Am I a dog that thou comest to me with staves? And the Philistine cursed David by his God.
What'd he do?
Cursed him by his God.
See, cursed him by his God, talked about our God and him. But y'all can see that this giant is speaking the language that David and them understand.
Right.
So it's not like a Neanderthal of some that head this big but brain only this big, the size of a marble. So it's something that we're communicating with because it knows it's doing wicked.
Right.
And it has to be judged for it.
Yeah.
But if you don't know what fire is and what's that eating in your rear end because you've been naked in the wilderness, just sitting in grass or something, and you dig it out and put it in your mouth, that's not a genealogy that's in the Bible. Let's get some more, y'all.
That's a nasty thing.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Verse 44. And the Philistine said to David, Come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air, and to the beasts of the field. Then said David to the Philistine, Thou comest to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield. But I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts, the Elohim of the armies of Israel,
Yes, sir.
whom thou hast defied. This day will the Most High deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee, and take thine head from thee, and I will give thee the carcasses of the hosts of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel.
Yes, sir.
All this assembly shall know that the Most High saveth not with sword and spear.
What does he save us not with what?
Sword and spear.
Uh-huh.
For the battle is the Most High's, and he will give you into our hands.
So he say this ain't gonna be no contest. We gonna battle it out like this. No, you finna get out of here with the tools that I got. It don't matter what I use. You can be armed up, but what I'm gonna use gonna take you. Let's get some more.
And it came to pass, when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to David, to meet David, that David hastened and ran toward the army to meet the Philistines.
Y'all see David running toward that giant? Do y'all understand what type of mindset David had? He went charging at it.
Yeah.
You'd have thought he was a wild man. Let's get some more.
And David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth.
So he fell upon because it knocked his equilibrium completely off. Go ahead.
So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in his hand in the hand of David. Therefore David ran and stood upon the Philistine, and took his sword, and drew it out from the sheath thereof, and slew him, and cut off his head therewith. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled.
Boy, you know you're going to take off running at that point. A young boy kill your champion. He 9'6"
And
tall.
chopped his head off.
And chop his head off with his sword. Let's get some more.
That boy was violent.
And the men of Israel and of Judah arose and shouted and pursued the Philistines until they came to the valley and to the gates of Ekron. And the wounded of the Philistines fell down by the way of Sha'araim, even unto Gath and unto Ekron. And the children of Israel returned from chasing after the Philistines, and they spoiled their tents. And David took the head of the Philistine and brought it to Jerusalem. But he put his armor in his tent. And when Saul saw David go forth against the Philistine, he said unto Abner, the captain of the host, Abner, whose son is this youth? And Abner said, as thy soul liveth, O king, I cannot tell. And the king said, inquire thou whose son the stripling is.
Yeah.
And as David returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, Abner took him and brought him before Saul, with the head of the Philistine in his hand. And Saul said to him, whose son art thou, thou young man? And David answered, I am the son of thy servant Jesse, the Bethlehemite.
And y'all see that David, Saul scared. He the tallest man in there. He would have been put up in a foot or two shorter, but he could have put up a scrap.
Yeah.
No, he was hiding in his tent. There wasn't no part of it.
He had a heart.
Because he knew it was something that was supernatural about Goliath. He like, these are not normal human beings.
Right.
Y'all understand? So let's get this next one, y'all. We ain't got long, gonna close on out.
Going to 2 Samuel 21.
Yeah.
and 15, I think.
Yes, sir.
21:15.
Yes, sir. And y'all, what we're talking about is these races getting took off. So if we see them being eliminated from earth, and you hear somebody talking about them again, make them show you the scripture that they show back up on the earth again. Just because it's saying after that, well, yes, we do see after that, but they put down again.
Right.
So we need after that. And it ain't Bigfoot. Let's get some more.
We know that was an old white man. He admitted that he was the one dressed up in that suit.
Bigfoot,
and they took the pictures.
Yeah. Let's get it, y'all. Let's speed this up.
2 Samuel chapter 21, verse 15.
Yeah.
Moreover, the Philistines had
What you doing up there, DJ?
Had yet war again with
Getting
Israel.
that. Yeah.
And David went down, and his servants with him,
man, you can't
and
have
fought
no
against
water.
the Philistines.
Yeah, that
and
probably-
David
own
waxed
water.
faint. And Ishbenob,
That's
which
good
was
enough.
of the sons of the giant,
Who was he the son of?
the giant,
Uh-huh.
300 shekel of brass in weight.
So if you weigh, right now, if anybody Google 300 shekels of brass, the weight of it, and just tell us what it is. Y'all can just do it and holler it back out. But go ahead, Elisha.
He being girded with a new sword, thought to have slain David.
Thought to have done what?
Slain David.
He was putting it on David as he's getting older. But this a giant. Go ahead.
But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, secured him, and smote the Philistine and killed him. Then the men of David sware unto him, saying, Thou shalt go no more out with us to battle, that thou quench not the light of Israel.
That thou do what?
Quench not the light of Israel.
See, that's the whole deal of the Philistine and the giants, was to cut the light off. We killed David, then the bloodline can't go. We killed the bloodline,
Right.
and then ours roam the earth.
Right.
If we cut David off, David's seed won't get into nothing.
It won't be
and
no-
David had 8 sons.
It won't be no the
The
branch
branch of the offspring of David. It was going to be cut off by this giant. So the Israelites that was in it, he had to train them up to know how to handle it. They're like, look, you can't go to war no more.
Right.
Come on, David, we understand you a soldier like that, but you just can't go no more. This a big battle right here. And you getting a little long in the tooth. You ain't swinging it as fast as you did.
Right.
And the first time you did it with a stone. Now it's getting serious. But go ahead, finish that out, Elijah.
And it came to pass after this that there was war again. There was again a battle with the Philistines at God.
Uh-huh.
Then Sibichai, the Hushite, slew Saph, which was of the sons of the giant. And there was again a battle in God with the Philistines.
With the who?
Philistines.
Uh-huh.
Well, Elhanan, the son of Jeroham,
Sound good.
a
to me.
Bethlehemite,
Yeah.
slew the brother of Goliath.
Who he slew?
The brother of Goliath,
Uh-huh.
the Gittite, the staff of whose spear was like a weaver's beam.
Yeah.
And there was yet a battle in Gath. There was a man of great stature.
Let's describe this man so we know it ain't allegory. Go ahead.
There was a man of great stature that had on every hand 6 fingers.
On every hand, what?
6 fingers.
Uh-huh.
And on every foot 6 toes, 24 in number. And he also was born to the giant.
So this was another identifying mark of the giants. Six fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, y'all. He was running the 12 pack. So he'd have had to been, he was telling his other giant partners, y'all 12 toes down. Let's get some more of that. Finish that on off, Elijah. Is that you finished that?
No.
Okay.
And when he defied Israel, Jonathan, the son of Shemiah, the brother of David, slew him.
Who slew him?
Jonathan. These 4 were born to the giant in Gath, and fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants.
So those 4, it was only 4 of them, y'all, that were still creating havoc in Philistine, but it was their champions, the giants. They would come out, man, they were so big and so fierce and mixed with that part of evil spirit, because look, the evil spirit, demons are still on the earth.
Yes, sir.
Idols is nothing. Devils and demons are real. They still possessing. So them evil spirits got off the ark, hooked up with these demonic spirits, and then they possessing individuals.
Yes, sir.
All we trying to do is get succubus or incubus to visit you in the supernatural so we can try to get this seed incubated. We need to have that done. We done did it before. We know how to do it again. So y'all, the final battle is coming to get rid of the offspring of the Philistine, because y'all is still controlling Jerusalem.
Yep.
The land of Canaan is still the land of Canaan, but you just done had new people with the Philistine mindset
Right.
called the Israelis.
Right.
Or Judaism have moved in there. And guess what they teaching out of Jerusalem?
Yes, sir.
The Talmud and the Kabbalah. Do y'all understand the level of wickedness that's coming out of the Holy Land now? It's double wickedness.
Yes, sir.
You got 2 books that says the Messiah is burning in hot excrement in their teaching, and it's coming out of Jerusalem. So they don't want him back, nor his offspring. So to speak, the children of Israel don't want you back here. This is what we doing to this land.
Right.
We devouring it. We're going to have everything go. Guess what else happens in there? All pedophiles from America can go to Israel and they have safe haven.
Yes, it's a
They can't
refuge.
be extradited back.
That's why Epstein is over there living
Yes, sir.
good.
Yes, sir. They circumcising children with their teeth, little boys. As soon as they born, instead of getting a knife and doing it like they do, they're actually putting their mouth on it
And they've been infected
and
babies
giving
with
them HIV.
specific.
Y'all understand that where this is coming out of Jerusalem, that Gregory and those fallen spirits or fallen angels are starting to take it on again, just like the days of Noah was. But y'all, robots gonna take it to a whole nother level, y'all, because this time you won't be able to see the deformity. You won't be able to see 6 toes and 6 fingers. They're gonna look exactly like you. That's why you keep seeing these photographs that say, what's the difference? It look like the same picture. You know, to be every time you log on, what's the difference?
Right.
You look at it for a minute, you say, I don't see no difference. That's what they keep wanting to kind of condition you for, that you can't see the difference. We're going to show you yourself plain, and then we're going to show yourself with a picture AI. Which one is you? Shit, I can't tell. Let's get some more. Because we already talking to that spirit. We call it Chat GTP. We talk to it, and we almost promote what it's saying over the script. Yeah. And Chat GPT said, man, I answered this question and it said that. Who gives a rat's you know what?
Right.
We understand what it's saying, but it's getting its information from somewhere else. Chat GTP didn't just think this up. The information was fed into it.
Right.
So if it's fed into it, that means a creature or a creation of God fed into it. So we can't look at it like God.
Right.
Because it's something the Most High made. Let's get some more. Let's finish this off, y'all. We ain't got but 8. Oh, boy, we cut good. We in that turn of time with these 15 minutes left.
2 Thessalonians.
Second Thessalonians. And we're going to close it out with Isaiah 51.
Okay.
And y'all, now that we see David cut him off, because after this slaughter of Goliath and his brothers, there's no more mention of giants up to our time. Y'all understand that? So David cut the head off the last of them. That we know that that how they got started after the flood. David cut them off. The king of Israel cut them off. Cut the flesh of them off. Now, they're going to come back with the Antichrist. And the Messiah, the final king of Israel, going to cut it off. Well, I didn't know what that was streaking past there like that. Boy.
Right. In black too.
Boy, in black too. I'm like, wait a minute, we've been talking here. Go ahead.
All right, family, we're going to be reading in the book of 2 Thessalonians.
Yeah.
Chapter 2, and we're going to start the reading in verse 1. How far down are you going to get it?
We just going to go just one till he destroy the Antichrist.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 1.
And y'all understand this. This is after, y'all, we at the point right now, it's where we're at today and leading up to the second coming. This the point we in the days of Noah. This AI, y'all, is finna go to a whole nother level. They got cars that drive by themselves. They testing them now on the streets. No driver.
Right.
They're dropping off deliveries, so more and more people are being out of work. So the more and more people keep getting out of work, it's going to be work. Shalom, Hebrew lands. Foes up. Yes, sir. That's Hebrew lands, y'all.
Lands. Boy, he'd be like, yeah, whatever. I'm trying to make it back home.
Yes, sir.
Get on
yes,
my
sir.
video games
yes, sir.
and everything I was into.
Yeah, I done been to church today. Yeah.
All right, mama, now hurry up and get me back home.
Yes, sir. Let's get it, boy.
Finish my activity.
Yes, sir.
2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 1.
Thessalonians.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking right at it, too.
Yeah, yes, sir.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 1.
I'll catch up with you.
Now we beseech you, brethren.
We beg of you.
Yeah, we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Master Yahushua Mashiach, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind.
That you be what?
Not soon shaken in mind. Or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of the Mashiach is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means.
By what kind of means?
By any means.
Yo, and that's what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of deception with the internet. Look, this what happened to the giant. Look, no, that ain't nothing, y'all. That's mankind being recovered. Don't let them deceive you about what you're about to see, y'all. We're about to see some things, y'all. Let's get some more.
For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
What is the son called?
The son of perdition.
So now we see the last lineage of Satan that will bruise the heel of Adam's offspring up into the Messiah. This is the last offspring, the son of perdition. This is his bloodline. This where it ends at if he don't make the victory. His bloodline ends because he's going all in with the power from Satan, like the Messiah is going all in with the power from the Most High. It's down to the final scrap, y'all. I'm telling you, y'all, it's way beyond pay-per-view. This one finna go down. Let's get some more.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of Yahweh, showing himself that he is Yahweh.
What is he showing himself?
That he is Yahweh.
And Trump showing himself that he is God right now. I want you to understand, he's not claiming to be yet.
Right.
He's just showing himself to be, y'all. And he ain't even in kindergarten class with the Antichrist.
You see?
We talk about somebody that kind of third of supernatural. Trump is just a useful idiot. It's simple as that. Let's get some more.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things?
He already warned us, didn't he?
Yep.
Go ahead.
And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in this time, in his time.
Yes, sir.
For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way.
Till he be what?
Taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Most High shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
It's going to destroy the Antichrist when he see the brightness. Just the brightness of glory and power is going to take his heart from him. Y'all understand that? Just the second coming, y'all. That's what they waiting for. When they keep saying, y'all keep seeing these documentaries, captured by an alien, and they rape me. Y'all, it ain't no aliens. It's just demonic spirits doing the same thing. They just calling them aliens because they don't want you to know it's the same thing that happened in the garden. The same thing that happened with Enoch now. It's the same program, y'all. They just want you to think it's coming from somebody else that don't nobody know nothing about. They know where it's coming from, y'all, and they're telling you, we getting raped by them every day, which they are. They are trying to get that seed in them, y'all, but this ain't got nothing to do with no strange alien. These are demonic spirits that's here still on this earth. The spirit of them trying to get at them. Go ahead, what you got to do about it?
At love 2103.
Shalom, at love.
What is the firmament?
Firmament? Firmament are separation between levels of the heaven. A firmament is like, if you get through this, then you get to the next portion of a level. It's separation points in the heavens going up.
It's like a wall.
It's like a wall. It's like an invisible wall, though. Now look, you can look up into the stars, but there may be 2 or 3 firmaments in between there. You're looking through the firmament because remember, it's like clear as glass, clear as crystal. But just think about it like what a Pacific Ocean, if you do the Pacific and Atlantic Ocean, why they won't mix. There's a barrier there that you can see the barrier. I don't care how the waves go, that 2 waters will not mix for nothing under the sun. And if you flip it like that, it's the same way with the firmament. The waters up there won't mix with the waters down here. If it make any sense. But that's all it is. But also just Google what is a biblical firmament. It'll tell you right off, y'all. Y'all, we got to use these smartphones while they're available, y'all. Because they're going to be gone and the question's going to be asked, y'all. If it ain't in your heart, you ain't going to get no answer. And deception is waiting around the corner. It's the same way, y'all, like we had chances to practice for a test. And we didn't. We wait till the last minute watching Soul Train and all of that stuff, fall asleep. Now we're trying to study for the test on the way to school on the bus. How much studying you going to get done?
Not very much.
Not very much, are you? Come on. We know it because the only thing be on your test paper is your name.
And the date.
And the
It's
date,
wrong.
Willie Johnson. And it's wrong. Yeah, it was yesterday's date.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
Who is this coming after?
After the working of Satan.
Yeah.
With all powers and signs and lying wonders.
With all what?
Power and signs and lying wonders.
Y'all, he throwing everything at the wall
Bring
this
it
time,
on.
y'all. Everything from the first ones that fell up until now. Everything is being thrown at it, y'all, and it's at a whole different level because we got something that looks the splitting image of mankind. Why you think the Terminator look like it? Y'all, all these movies are just running us to the end. The
Right.
Terminator looked just like a human being, did it?
Yep.
The other ones say they flesh, we could tell that, we could feel on it, felt a little rubbery. They say we can't even test these now, they got temperatures like humans. Y'all, and them robots are already out here, y'all. They already out here, they already testing them. They sitting them in football stands. If y'all Google right now, AI sitting in Rams football stand. And people just walk by, but they had the little neck part out. You know what I'm saying? Where you can see the electronics.
Right.
But people thought they were just regular people sitting watching the game. They had on jerseys. And that's what they're doing. They're slowly implementing them into society to see if you recognize them. Let's get some more, y'all. Where we at? We
Verse
finished that.
10.
Okay.
We'll take it to 12.
Okay.
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
That they what?
They might be saved.
See, it's still leaving a prerequisite. It don't say if they stop, they still have to do more. They have to repent. That they might be saved.
Yup.
Go ahead.
And for this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie.
That they should what?
Believe a lie. That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness.
See, a lot of people going to have pleasure in them robots. And then when they realize it's too late, they're going to try to turn that pleasure loose. But they ain't going to be able to.
You belong to me.
Yeah, you're going to be hooked on it, boy, like heroin. You ain't going to get enough because every experience going to be like your first time. That's the deception of it, y'all. It's going to be a repeat crack hit. Every time going to be like the first lick. And you ain't going to never get enough of it. If y'all don't think it's real, there's a movie out right now. Scares some people to death. It's called Splice. When y'all watch the movie Splice, it's about splicing genes with that. They mixing it with that supernatural. That thing grows up. It elevates. It becomes a giant. Then it switches from male to female. It actually raped a woman and put the baby in her belly. So now she's pregnant, waiting on part 2 of this to come out whenever it comes out. But when y'all watch Splice, everything that we're talking about today is explained in that movie from the supernatural side of it. The flesh side is the omen and, you know, them Rosemary Baby.
Yeah.
But the supernatural side of what the Watchers did is in the movie Splice. That's all I'm going to say. Make sure y'all watch Splice if y'all want to understand what we're saying today. But did we finish that?
Yeah, that was it on that.
Last, y'all, we got one script, y'all. We good at 4:17. We're going to close on out. Mention the Passover and Purim. Y'all, we're going to get on out of here. And also that 1 Chronicles 20 also talk about them giants getting cut off. You know, so y'all mark that down as well. 1 Chronicles 20. But where we going now, 51?
Isaiah 51.
Yes, sir. We ain't going to read it all. We'll just read it up to the part where he busts the head of the dragon.
Okay.
You know.
You got Isaiah?
But still,
Yes, he does now.
it was supposed to still be your turn.
Yeah, y'all also match up that Goliath and his people with 1 Chronicles chapter 20. Y'all read that whole 20th chapter. There's only 8 verses. But David killed a giant, y'all. It wasn't just so much he slayed the giant, but David slayed a part of supernatural. That's what made him so great, and he did it without a weapon, you know, a slingshot. Let's get it. We're laughing at, bro.
You should have saw that look he showed.
Oh, okay. You ready to read? I'm going to let you get at it, Zeb. Go ahead, bro. I see you run. Go ahead, bro.
It's just a shame. I ain't even got to do nothing.
What you mean? Look, he just put you in there. Go ahead, bro.
You're a Judite for real.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 51, verse 1.
Yeah.
Hearken to me, ye that follow after righteousness,
Uh-huh.
ye that seek the Most High. Look unto the rock whence ye are hewn,
Yeah.
and to the hole of the pit whence ye are digged.
Uh-huh.
Look unto Abraham your father,
Look to Abraham who?
your father,
Uh-huh.
and unto Sarah that bare you. For I called him alone, and blessed him, and increased him.
Yo, see how I keep coming back to the promised seed and where the promise started? That's our father, so to speak. We got the father, but that's our father on earth that we can trace back the promise to the beginning of this promise. But the Messiah, because of Isaiah 9, when it said he should become the everlasting Father, wonderful counselor. But all he said, he shall become. So that's putting the power on the future Messiah's second coming, not on the Father, because he's already those things. He ain't going to become them later on. He's those things. This is talking about the Messiah going to get this same acknowledgement of wonderful counselor, everlasting Father, because he's been with the everlasting Father. He's not replacing the Father, nor is Abraham right here replacing the Father. No. But we calling him Father, ain't we?
Yes, sir.
And ain't no disrespect. But why is it such a problem when they say Christ is the Father that is mentioned in that Isaiah 9? And say, why is that such a problem?
Because
that the Messiah,
they don't want him to be who he is. They want to be him.
who Abraham bowed to.
They want to be him. That's the spirit of Antichrist.
Yeah. What you got, Imam?
I was listening yesterday, and I was listening to something that they were talking about they said that there is from the mother.
The who?
Their Rev 2 They were saying that there it's not the father that they get to see, it's the mother. And based on what you just
Who?
said,
Who is saying that,
the
Imam?
Rev 2
Who's the Reptonites?
Rev 2
Rev 2 Niners. I don't know who is that anyway though. That's a new gang in the city or
The
what?
40,
I'm just asking. I ain't heard of them.
I never
Imam.
heard of Mama.
Revelation 2:9.
Oh, Revelation 2 and 9 and 3 9. That's the new handle, Imam. What you call it? Rev 2939. Okay. Yeah, they got another name too. They call it 1948ers.
48ers.
They call it 1948ers too.
And so, basically, what they were saying that it was from the mother, the seed of the mother.
Yeah, that.
And then, and I heard what you just said.
Yeah.
And according to the scriptures, how we can always tell them because it's based upon the father and his seed.
Well, it's based on both seeds because look, if they kill all the male, what's going to happen to Israel if the women left?
They're going to take the seed.
Right, and then so what happens to Israel as a nation?
Wiped out.
Wiped out. So it can't be about the both male and woman. What it's saying about the woman having the mitochondria, meaning that it protects us from every other nation, that she protects that bloodline and that seed. Right. When you look up mitochondria, you'll understand it perfectly about the woman. But the man of Israel still puts, if he puts the seed in the Israelite woman, it's powerful. If he puts it in the seed of another woman, it's powerful. But if another seed, another male puts his seed in our woman, her mitochondrion will overpower his seed to keep the bloodline going.
Yeah.
That make sense? But it's in the woman. That's why they chasing after the woman. Because when the man did what he did, it broke off his power head, so to speak, with what he did by listening to her. So that's why when you get to Isaiah 3, and the women shall rule over men and it'll be their oppressors and different things, this is what the devil trying to get at. Because they know the power is in her seed. Let's get some more. Where we at?
Verse 3.
Yeah.
For the Most High shall comfort Zion. He will comfort all her waste places. And he will make her wilderness like Eden.
Like what?
Like Eden.
Uh-huh.
And her desert like the garden of the Most High.
Uh-huh.
Joy and gladness shall be found therein. Thanksgiving and the voice of melody.
Yes, sir.
Hearken unto me, my people, and give ear unto me, O my nation. For a law shall proceed from me, and I will make my judgment to rest for a light of the people.
So, and make my rest a light for the people, the Messiah, because he's the Most High's rest. Mm-hmm. Hebrews 10th chapter, that's it, come into my rest. So that was it. We would what we trying to get to right now, and they say, well done, servant Anna, we could have been born in that life.
Yep.
But we have to come full circle all the way back around as wide as the earth. Like we wandered 40 days in the wilderness. We got to wander around the complete earth till we get back to the Garden of Eden, and it's back where it's supposed to be in righteousness, and all unrighteousness will be put down. Let's get some more. Finish that off to verse 8 or 9.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
My righteousness is near.
Uh-huh.
My salvation is gone forth.
Yes, sir.
And mine arm shall judge the people.
Who gonna judge the people?
Mine arm.
So who's the arm, y'all? That's the right hand. That's the Messiah. Go ahead.
The isles shall wait upon me.
Uh-huh.
And mine arm shall they trust. Lift up your eyes to the heavens, and look upon the earth beneath. For the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wax old like a garment.
Uh-huh.
And they that dwell therein shall die in like manner. But my salvation shall be forever,
Uh-huh.
and my righteousness shall not be abolished.
Right?
Hearken unto me, ye that know righteousness.
Ye that what?
Know righteousness.
Y'all, so we got to know righteousness. We can't guess at righteousness. We can't make a change of clothes righteousness.
Right.
We can't make putting a cap on your head righteousness. Go ahead.
Hearken unto me, ye that know righteousness, the people in whose heart is my law.
What's in their heart, bro?
My law.
That's how you gonna know righteousness. And this is all we was trying to tell sister. Y'all understand? You got to get the law in your heart. You got to be able ready to answer that question when they say, show me where it's sin. Go ahead.
Fear ye not the reproach of men, neither be ye afraid of their reviling. The moth shall eat them up like a garment, and the worm shall eat like the wool. But my righteousness shall be forever.
How long is it going to be for?
Forever.
Uh-huh.
And my salvation from generation to generation.
You're going to run it down to verse 11.
Awake, awake, put on strength,
Come on.
O arm of the Most High.
Read.
Awake as in the ancient days,
Yes, sir.
in the generations of old.
Uh-huh.
Art thou not it that hath cut Rahab and wounded the dragon?
So this is Isaiah saying, awake, Lord, and do what you did when you were in the heavens. Wasn't you the one that cut Rahab and knocked the dragon out of heaven? Wasn't you the one that threw Lucifer to earth?
Yes, sir.
I want it back from them days to where you beat up supernatural
Come on.
and threw supernatural out of there. Go ahead.
Art thou not it which hath dried the sea, the waters of the great deep, that hath made the deeps of the sea a way for the ransom to pass over?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, the redeemed of the Lord shall return.
That's remnant. The redeemed of them. That's remnant. Go ahead.
And come with singing unto Zion,
Uh-huh.
and everlasting joy shall be upon their heads.
Uh-huh.
They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away.
So y'all see at this point that all of giants gonna be driven out from the face of the earth, y'all. But right now, no need to worry about nobody talking about giants unless they can show where the script said after David slaughtered the last of the 4 of the Philistine giants, the sons of Anak and the Nephilim, we ain't, unless you can find giants between that time and up to our time, a physical giant once again with 6 fingers, 6 toes, and doing the size he's doing, and he's the champion of another nation, they bring him out. You ain't got that. They're going to bring him out now supernaturally. And there's going to be a different giant to deal with. But what I want to do, just so we don't lose track on this, we know all of the 110 about the woman in modest apparel. So the bottom line would be, does the law regulate modest apparel? Only in a sense because it's a marriage covenant. That's why I say a harlot's attire, that's different from a married woman attire, ain't it? So that's what it's saying. It's saying if a husband's heart does safely trust in her, she ain't leaving at 1:45 in the morning, talking about I'm finna drop by my sister's house in harlot attire.
No, sir.
See, how can his heart safely trust in that? He like, wait, where you going? How long you say you're going to be back in a minute, in that minute skirt?
minutes.
So no, but what we want to do is just read Judith real quick because she changed clothes, and we just want to see the clothes she had on when her husband was alive. Because women are put on widow clothes. They say, I'm technically off the market. I still fix my hair up like I'm supposed to, but it's not being fixed up to draw nothing. And if any woman fixing her hair up, spending 4 hours in the beauty parlor, sleeping like this so it don't get messed up, and you saying that's just for they self so they can look in the mirror and say, I sure do looks pretty. Or do you think that's for an event that's coming up? What you say, you look tired? Yeah. But if you don't think that's for where I'm going later, I done all this just to look in the mirror and lay down in the bed. No, it ain't for that. And if it's for those reasons to draw in, and you go to places, juke joint houses and drink houses where the liquor is flowing, you know what you're about to attract because that's the house of spirits. Ain't that what we call wine and spirits? Spirits in the bottle. So you go there with your hair fixed up, it's going to draw them in. Because it say, look at me. Come to me. Let me see your glory.
I'm going to buy you a drink.
So go to Judith 10th chapter real quick, y'all. We're going to read number 5 verses, and then we're going to call it.
Go ahead.
Judah chapter 10, verse 1.
Hold on. Let everybody get their winner pop. Y'all, this is the last script we're going to close out. Judith in the Apocrypha chapter 10. And y'all, something very important in here. And we're going to see if what she did was on a level of wicked, because it's going to appear to be.
Judah chapter 10, verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Now after that she had ceased to cry unto Elohim of Israel, and had made an end of all these words.
So she praying to the Most High, crying, right?
Yep.
Go ahead.
She rose where she had fallen down, and called her maid, and went down into the house, in the which she abode in the Sabbath days, and in her feast days.
So we see she on point. She keeping Sabbath and the feast days.
Right.
Go ahead.
And pulled off the sackcloth which she had on, and put off the garments of her widowhood.
What kind of garments she had on?
Widowhood.
So her husband had died, Manasseh, he dead, so she wearing garments of widowhood. It's just so the whole nation will know. Okay, she got, it may be a scarf or with some that identified to the other men, she a widow.
Right.
You know, so she has to be treated like this. There's special respect for her. And if she's past the required age to be remarried, she's past that as well. But we're going to see Judith was not past that age. She just was a young widow. If a man 21 and his wife 21, he go to war and get killed, what is she?
Widow.
And how old?
21.
21. Let's get some more.
And pulled off the sackcloth which she had on, and put off the garments of her widowhood, and washed her body all over with water, and anointed herself with precious ointment, and braided the hair of her head.
Come on now, what she know? She didn't do that. I know she didn't. It said let her hair mat up like
No,
a Shih Tzu ain't been taken care of. Is that how they go? What's the name? Go ahead, bro.
So she has shit locks.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So she braiding her hair. Go ahead.
And put on a tire upon it.
A head wrap. Go ahead.
And put on her garments of gladness.
Her garments of what?
Gladness.
See, these are garments she already had that when her husband was alive. They garments of gladness.
Right.
OG, you know about them garments of gladness. You got closets full of them. When you go out in them, you know you sharp. Ain't no, you know,
Right.
They ain't got no choice but to say, player, you sharp as for a racer.
Yes, sir.
Garments of gladness. We all got it.
Cleaning
They're your
the blood.
favorite garments of gladness.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because when you put them on, you glad.
You ain't you glad, boy? Go ahead.
Wherewith, and put a tire upon it,
Yeah.
and put on her garments of gladness,
Yeah.
wherewith she was clad during the life of Manasseh her husband.
So who did she wear these clothes around?
Manasseh, her husband.
her clothes of gladness.
Right.
And she got her hair braided, so she going back to look like she do, like almost like she putting herself back on the market.
Right.
But what happened was, when you read the chapters before, she's doing it because there's an attack on Israel again. And sometimes women have to get in because men are fascinated with that beauty and that beauty getter.
Right.
See, so it can't be used reverse, because demonic spirits, if you don't know righteousness, they going to jump on that and they going to take your bait.
Right.
Let's get some more.
And she took sandals upon her feet and put about her bracelet
Uh-huh.
and her chain
Uh-huh.
and her ring.
And just multiples, ain't it?
Yeah, her
And she
ring.
putting on her jewels her husband and bought her,
Yeah.
that she still got in the jewelry box.
Yeah.
Let's get some more.
and her earrings
Uh-huh.
and all her ornaments.
And all her what?
Ornaments.
Her ornaments, ain't they?
Yeah.
Let's get some more.
And decked herself bravely to allure the eyes of all men that should see her.
Now, most people say, well, she dressing up so she can lure men in. Only to the sense she just going back to her normal self that always allured men. If men say, man, you got a beautiful wife, man, or different thing, like, it was always a lure of men, but I'm saying to bring them in to make them think they finna get some is the decision as you read this out and see if she put on her clothes. Because if those same clothes can do this now, they had to do them when she was with her husband.
Right.
And then that would mean that her husband is not safely trusting her if you looking at it now like she had on these clothes and couldn't allure men.
Right.
Because he would be like, damn, did you have to wear all the jewelry I bought? You keep alluring men.
Right.
Every time they look at that bracelet, to them it's a hey baby bracelet. And they
Right.
see me with you. I walk in the club holding your hand and they grab your other hand. Walk in with it. That ain't what the allure was.
No.
Let's get some
You
more.
have to read the whole story.
Yeah, finish it off down to 10 and we'll see.
Verse 5. Then she gave her maid a bottle of wine and a cruse of oil, and filled a bag with parched corn and lumps of figs with fine bread.
Uh-huh.
So she folded all these things together and laid them upon her. Thus they went forth to the gate of the city Bethulia, and found standing there Ozias and the ancients of the city, Cabris and Carmis. And when they saw her,
When they did what?
that her countenance was altered
Altered from what?
from the widowhood,
From the widowhood. Go ahead.
and her apparel was changed, they wondered at her beauty very greatly, and said unto her, the God of our fathers, girl,
Uh-huh.
thee favor, and accomplish thine enterprises to the glory of the children of Israel, and to the exaltation of Jerusalem. Then they worship Elohim.
So that ain't gonna make you worship Elohim the way she was dressed. See, the other way that what sister was understanding, y'all, and I'm gonna leave that alone. I just want y'all to understand, when sometimes people have a bad life and the things that were in their life, they know those are the things that drove them crazy. That may not be for nobody else. Somebody else may have took lipstick and then put it on like you did, or put it on for them reasons, you know. They just covered up or made themselves look good. But when it's thick and it looks like them Hollywood housewives, I'm talking about that makeup look this thick, about 3 inches thick.
Cake face.
If you put them next to a transvestite, you couldn't tell the difference. Which one was the woman, because the makeup is the same. Women are actually trying to look like transvestite women, because the men are now going after the transvestite women. Y'all understand what I'm saying? They feel, now I done lost you already to homosexuality. Now we got this whole nother group of men trying to look like us. We're in competition with the transvestites, so we're starting to look like them. We're starting to dress like them to get you back. But in the same manner, what the devil is doing is got them putting all that hair on. They dressing up, they modifying their shapes, all for not for a husband, but for this new femininity that they have. And we can marry women. I really don't need a man.
Right.
I just need this. I need one of them powerhouse men. Look, I ain't talking about what that boy Kevin Samuel used to say. What kind of man, that had the money and stuff.
High value.
High value man. No, they want high valued angels. They like, that high value man can die just like he did, getting rode with his high value. and he died that same way. No, they want supernatural on them, y'all. They want to feel like a goddess.
Yeah,
If y'all understand what I'm
you see they
saying.
promoting that type of terminology and all that.
So it would be
Black girl magic.
Yes, sir. Oh, black girl, man, all this stuff. So it would be like if you had a problem with something, and every time you see somebody else doing it, they got the same problem. No, they don't, because everything is in moderation. You know, there got to be a wall or a line you won't cross. And that's what we have to understand, because it was bad for you, unless it was bad off the top. You're talking about playing with a Ouija board, bad off the top. But if you were at one point and you did this, it didn't work out for you. You ain't telling us the real reason you stopped. What made you stop, and who showed you that it was wicked? That's all we asking y'all before we get into a back and forth conversation, because y'all, testimonies are not the law of God. Right. Testimony are the results of either obeying the law of God or disobeying the law of God. Now, if your testimony is I disobeyed God, you still got to find the law for it. Right. That's all we saying, y'all. We ain't beating up on nobody around here, but we can't play I had that sin what I thought was sin, and you look like you got the same one. Right. But I couldn't show you where it's at. No. And then everything else, if we dissect both clothes we in, your pile going to be more of what you're talking about. Yeah. Because it's looking at the outer cup. You're not looking at inside. Well, he knows my heart. Well, we know about what that script says.
Right, yeah.
Let's close out. Yo, we got the Purim coming up Monday, March the 2nd. Y'all, we had the doors open for anybody want to contribute. Y'all, that's the day we feed, or well, not feed, but we provide the homeless with supplies needed outside. Just something to give them a little comfort, y'all. A new pair of drawers and new socks on some feet that ain't had none on in the rear end. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Y'all know what that do for an individual? Little deodorant to put up under their arm, some toothpaste. So, y'all, that's March the 2nd, y'all, and so far, sister got all the bags. We're going to do 100 men, 100 women. Y'all know how we get down with it. And then immediately after that, y'all, 30 days later, we got this over. That same April the 1st at 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., that same April the 1st is the 14th day of evening. That's the Passover part. Soon as it hits sundown on that same April the 1st at sundown, because we're looking at this modern calendar, the Feast of Unleavened Bread take place until the 8th of April. And the Feast of Unleavened Bread is over. If y'all coming to St. Louis, y'all need to contact myself or issue with Button Israel. Let us know y'all coming in town so we can help you with accommodations, you know, and everything. We don't want you to get here struggling trying to find your way. And we'll get the information out. Sister will be posting the information Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for all y'all here in STL who want to partake in the Holy Passover, y'all. But we got to get your name on the list. And if you need to say, hey, I'll get them few funds to you before the cutoff time, then just get your name on the list, y'all, because we can't go to the store the day of. It just ain't going to work. You're talking about pounds of lamb that have to be prepared. Yeah. As well as all the other. You had some sister? You good? Okay. So y'all with that, we got anything to think about before we close out? Okay. That's all praises then, bro.
I know it's a habit.
Thank you, bro. I did the same thing, bro. Did you?
All right, family. We're going to get this closing prayer. And it's with the Most High's permission.
Yeah.
And it's in the name of his only begotten and beloved Son, our Lord and Savior and our Redeemer, Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know him as Jesus the Christ, family. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 53rd chapter, it reads, the fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. Corrupt are they, and have done abominable iniquity. Yes, there is none that doeth good. Yes, Yahweh looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand, that did seek Yah. Every one of them is gone back. They are altogether become filthy. There is none
that doeth good. No, not one. Have the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread? They have not called upon Yahweh. There were they in great fear, where no fear was. For Yah hath scattered the bones of him that encampeth against thee. Thou hast put them to shame, because Yahweh hath despised them. Oh, that the children, oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion.
Yes, sir.
When Yah bringeth back the captivity of his people,
Yeah.
Jacob shall rejoice.
Yeah.
And Yisrael shall.
Yes, sir. If y'all got a shekel or two, y'all, we greatly appreciate it. Thank y'all so much, Worldwide Family, and all of y'all that continue in the gospel of Messiah. True believers, y'all. We got, y'all. Don't be deceived.
Right, no doubt.
Shalom, Mark Ben. What's going on?